unhealthy for us. I don't have to have you in my life. I'm choosing you to be here. I want you to be here. I want to work on us. That's a totally different vibe than I don't need you. I don't need any man in my life. You're lucky you're here. And it would, does that make, I mean,
off the head roll. Love it.
You're saying the same thing. So I guess it would depend on the context. Yeah.
I said it because I wanted the men in my life to know that I didn't need them to take care of me. I wasn't with them because I needed them to take care of me or whatever. I wasn't coming from a hurtful place. I thought it was more of a positive statement. Okay. Like I don't need you. I'm choosing for you to be in my life because I want you to be in my life. And what I realized later, especially after reading the book and after asking the men that I had said that to, how it affected them after reading the book, it was, I was emasculating them with that statement. I was telling them, I don't need you. Like, you're not going to be my provider. You're not going to be my protector. I can take care of myself. I'm choosing to have you in my life because it makes me happy.
You were definitely offering them emasculation. You know, if they chose to take it like that, it's still their choice.
Well, I've learned not to make that statement anymore because it really sucks for men to hear that statement.
Well, see, but the thing is I don't like hearing that I'm going to stop doing this because all men act like this, or I'm going to stop doing this because all women think this way and I can control their thoughts and their emotions. You are only responsible for what you say and the intent behind it. You are absolutely not responsible for the filter they wear and how they chose to receive it. Does that make sense? So you're not responsible for the fact that they felt emasculated by what you said. Even if you meant it to emasculate them, they are still responsible for allowing it to happen. So
but I'm not trying to rip men's power away by the things that I say. And if I know that it's a possibility, then that's intentional.
I want to be real with you, and this is coming from love. It is 100% ego that says I have to change what I say in order to make sure that I'm not having power over these people.
Okay. I don't understand that. So we're going to have to dive into that a little bit more in another episode.
What I'm saying is you will drive yourself crazy and you will never be effective at communication if you are constantly thinking, okay, how do I say this the right way so they take it the right way? Because then what you're really struggling with is, how do I control the outcome? How do I control this other person? That's where you're coming from. Instead of going, hey, my goal is to absolutely be a loving, kind, uplifting person to every person I meet, but then you don't take any responsibility for what they choose to do with it. Now, if a real man will come back to you and say, hey, babe, when you said this to me, I'll be real, it pricked something in my manhood that made me go, well, shit, maybe I'm not man enough for her. And I know it's my head, and I know, owning your own stuff. I know, right. But babe, talk to me about it. Where were you coming from that? And this is where not making assumptions is huge. Clarifying is huge. Mm-hmm. Communication and relationship is huge. But first, it starts with self-reflection. So if you say something to me that I feel emasculated by, I'm not going to jump and attack you and fight and get ready to defend myself. I'm actually going to go, why in the world am I feeling this way? Mm-hmm. What part of my ego did she just prick that makes me go, wow, man, that makes me feel like less of a man? Why am I feeling like less of a man? Why do I let it feed me like that? And then I'm going to come talk to you about it. Mm-hmm. Once I kind of figure it out for myself. And if I can't figure it out myself, and this is where I have to have a partner. If I can't figure it out for myself, I'm going to go to my partner and go, babe, I need you to just talk through me with this. Don't take any of it personally. Just talk through it with me. Let me kind of vent, work through it. When you said this, I know it's not your intention, babe, but I felt emasculated, and this is what came up for me. What do you think? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? That's the way a real couple
absolutely
who's really empowered are going to handle it. But if you get in the habit of going, well, my man's going to take it personally, or my baby's going to take it personally, I need to be careful about how I say things, and I need to tweak how I say things. You start moving from true empowerment in a relationship over into manipulation of a relationship.
Well, here's what I figured out about myself in the statement that I was making. That was almost like proof to myself that I didn't need somebody else to take care of me, that I was fully capable of taking care of myself, and that I choose for people to be in my life. How I would rather revise that for myself and for other people is, we know that I'm fully capable of taking care of myself. But what I love is that we get to do this together. And I think that that's a better articulated statement of how I really feel.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And that would be something that would make your man feel good.
Yeah. You know, and because I think that it's important to be diplomatic in how we say certain things too. I mean, because you have respect for the other person, like what you and I, you want to have respect for your partner. You don't want to just blurt out stuff that isn't respectful of the relationship, right? Because that's not healthy either. If you're that type of person that just blurts stuff out, and because it's how you feel, with no thought processes of how it might affect other people around you. You know, there's a way to communicate.
No, believe me, being a restaurant owner.
Diplomacy is key.
Well, but the thing is I also won't give up my integrity either. So right. I've had some customers who just wanted to be angry, who were just looking to take all of the poison they had running inside of them because of a bad day or a bad week or a bad life, and they wanted to dump it on someone else. And I'll never take responsibility for that from other people. But so if you go on, so my restaurant, Firehouse Sub and Surprise, we've got over 500 and I think we're up to 540 Google reviews. I've responded to almost every single one. I've gotten behind for the last few weeks, but I've responded to almost every single one personally. And the really bad ones, though, you'll always see me saying very similar things, which is, I apologize for your experience. Absolutely apologize. That's not the experience that we strive for at Firehouse Subs. That's not the experience that is the norm for our customers. And I apologize for the experience that you had. I would like to make it up to you. I'm going to private message you and see what I can do to make sure that your next visit goes right. Thank you so much for reaching out. If it wasn't for customers like you that cared enough to let us know, I wouldn't be able to always fix the issues that we have. Thank you again. Look forward to talking to you. Then I put my name and stuff on there. Now I take responsibility for their experience that they had at the restaurant, and I apologize for it. But I don't, like I had one lady that just went off, and her story was just, it was completely made up. She was going off about how the manager treated her rudely, didn't even offer a refund, didn't offer to remake the sandwich, didn't offer. And I kindly told her that wasn't the manager, that was the owner of the restaurant. That was me. You. I was actually at the register, you know, and she, oh, you're calling me a liar now, and just went off. But every one of my responses again was, I'm sorry you had that experience. That was not my intention. But I actually had a lot of people come in after that and go, you know what? The only reason I'm here is because I read that Yelp review and it was horrible. But the way you handled it was, you know,
very diplomatic.
Yeah, very diplomatic without losing your integrity and without trying to like control and manipulate as well, which isn't always an easy thing to accomplish. But I'll never get to the point where I buy into this whole PC culture stuff where you are overly thinking. And I think it is 100% ego to think that you have so much power. You know, this whole thing about hate speech, right? Just talk about hate speech. That is one of the most ridiculous things out there. That is,
I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's the new buzzword of, oh, it's hate speech. You're saying hateful things and you're hurting people. You're responsible for that. You should be punished for the angry things that you said. This whole thing, they talk about they think they're being empowering to people, is removing self-responsibility. That's the whole goal of all of these movements of PC culture, and is just right. The feminist movement. It's all about removing self-empowerment and giving it up to other people. And we start learning that as kids. You know, when your parents go, you make me angry, or, oh, baby, I'm so proud of you. I love you. You make me so happy. You start believing as a kid, wow, I actually have control over other people's emotions. I'm
power.
Yeah, I'm the one that has power over their emotions. When I get abused out of anger, it's my fault. And we start taking that on. But then we also do the converse thing, which is we turn around and we start handing that power to other people. And it becomes a vicious cycle because we believe that when I get angry, it's not my fault I'm angry. It's not my responsibility I'm angry. It's yours because you did this and that made me angry. And when you believe that way and live that way, you completely give up your ability to actually have true empowerment, and you give up your ability to actually make changes that are positive in your life. It all starts with that inner communication and that inner agreement that I'm responsible for my emotions. And anytime I really try hard that anytime I have a reaction to something that I don't like, if it's a negative reaction, I try and delve into why I'm having that, change the agreement around so that I start having positive proactions towards the events that happen to me in my life. So when you say, emasculating a man, you can only offer that emasculation to a man. And it's up to that man's choice, whether or not he accepts it, whether he feels emasculated. And if he does, it's also his choice to turn around and go to you and go, love, this is how I was feeling. And then how are you going to receive it as a woman? An empowered woman, what are the different ways you've seen women? How would most women handle that? If they actually had a man that would come to them and say, babe, look, I know it's not you. It's not your fault. I felt emasculated when you said that. What was your intention behind it?
So it's interesting because I have had conversations with my boyfriend where I'm like, this is really serious for me. Like, I do not want to intentionally emasculate you. So if something occurs where you feel emasculated, please tell me because I want to be aware. So when he comes to me and he tells me, I don't know why this affected me in this way, but it did. And, so let's talk about this. And we talk about it and we kind of get down to it. And I'm like, I am so sorry. I did not intend it to be that way. I appreciate you sharing with me that was something that triggered that feeling in you. And let's work on avoiding that because I don't want you to feel that way. My intention is not to strip your balls. That is not my intention. I want you to be the man. I want to be the woman. I am feminine. I love being feminine. I want to be feminine. And I want you to be the manly man that you are. And so the last thing I want to do is continue to pick that button and hit it because I know that that's what it does to you. Unfortunately, there is women out there who know that that's a button and they just keep hitting it. And I think more so in marriage. I mean, let's talk about that. When you're married and you're irritated and you know that that's a button to push, that's a tough button to keep pushing, where that it hits your man that way and you're just ding, 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 ding over and over again. Women do that to feel more powerful. Women do that to feel like they have more control. Doesn't make it right. What we really need to do is get down to the issue of why are we feeling the need to hit that button over and over again? What's causing that?
Right. Again, it's bringing it back to yourself and actually fixing what's inside of you.
And admitting that you're doing that.
Yeah. And why? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Why do I feel the need to continue to do that? What is it in me, my feelings, that makes me want to hit that button over and over and over again? There's something going on in me that makes me want to continue to try to hurt him. And what is it? And we need to get to the root of it. I need to get to the root of it. Now, there's one other part of this that is interesting. I have always been a woman that never wanted to ask for help. I felt that asking for help made me weak. So there have been men in my life, ex-boyfriends, friends that are males, like all these people that have tried to help me with different things. I will give you an example of this. I was dating a man briefly, very nice guy, great guy. I had a problem with my tire and he wanted to send somebody to my work to fix the tire. Very nice thing for him to want to do. I said no, because I was like, no, I don't need your help. It's okay. I'll figure it out, blah, 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 because I'm not used to people helping me. And I think it makes me weak if I need that help. So I said no. He's the only man that's ever broken up with me. because I wouldn't let him be the man in my life. And I'm like, but I didn't understand. I was heartbroken. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm not a needy girl.